And there was good plays and bad plays. I mean, everybody's got them. We're trying to eliminate all the bad plays. But Desmond was the guy that stood out to me as far as just details and just more than we've seen. And that's what you expect when, something like that happens, is for somebody to step up and take over, and he really did.
How encouraging is that, Pat, to see that, especially in that circumstance where a guy steps in right away and looks good and very important position?
It's very encouraging. I mean, that's what you expect to happen, and it naturally happens. I think sometimes people kind of go, I'm not the guy. Weaver's the guy. Pat Jones is really good. I was talking about number 91 and 17, and all of a sudden you see a window open, and it's kind of like you get a new breath of fresh air to go, let me inhale this and let's go with it. So you expect to see it happen. It did happen. And again, not just him. I mean, John Morgan did some really good things as well. Haba, has gotten, he's even healthier. So it's going to be a battle. Certainly going to be a battle.
Do you and Charlie maybe coach those guys who does in particular a little harder because of what has to happen or what's happening?
I sure hope not. I mean, I don't think we change our tune, Jerry. I think you coach the way you coach. I don't think we need to add any pressure to anybody's plate there for sure. No, we don't coach them any different. It's just, I think maybe they have a little bit more urgency because of they kind of look and go, ooh, I could be the guy. And I think it gives guys a little bit more juice.
Do you maybe have more, maybe a one-on-one conversation with them?
Some guys you do, some guys you don't. There's probably a guy or two that I said, hey, let's go. You need to get your kill going. Sat him down and said, you need to put more effort into it. And, and I'm not talking on the field, more effort in the classroom of knowing what you're doing. Because once you know what you're doing, that word knowledge up in the back of the room there, that word knowledge allows you to play faster. And if you're out there kind of playing slow because you're not sure if I'm supposed to do this, and there's so many different defenses, and you apply that to how many different fronts or formations you're going to see on offense in the different plays, it's like there's a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts. So you play faster when you know what you're doing. I think some of the urgency has maybe opened up for some of those guys.
You mentioned the punting and scrimmaging. As far as special teams as a whole, a full week plus in the camp now, how do you feel about that unit?
I feel really good. I mean, Kess is really kicking the ball like we expect him to. Like I said, Kirk, I expect more out of him. He's not a rookie anymore. So we got to get him a little bit more consistent. He's had consistent days, but when it's game day and it's scrimmage day, we expect you to wake up that morning and feel good and punt it well. But he's got an explosive leg. Cal really snapped the ball, well as far as holds and all that, and we're moving along trying to find a holder as well. So the special teams are a bit sharp.
What's your distance trust factor with Alex right now?
72, 74. Well, maybe in 50. I mean, who's going to kick 60-yarder? But if he can kick 55, that's good, and that's where it is.
When you talk about the knowledge and recognition and understanding on the field, is that maybe the biggest learning curve with your linebackers right now, where maybe those guys don't have as much experience?
You know what? When I look at what our linebackers are doing right now, there's some talented guys in that room, but their knowledge is pretty good right now. I mean, you try to match it up to the older guys, Zeiss and Sean and Quentin. They know like they do. They just lack the experience. So I don't think it comes down to the knowledge part of it. I think the knowledge is there. It's just them going on game day, making sure they do what they know how to do, But I think they know what to do as good as our guys do last year. They can run, they can make tackles. So it's just a matter of, doing it on game day. So it's a lack of experience. That's the only thing. I think the knowledge will be the same.
You mentioned last week that you and the coaches would gather and kind of talk about the true freshmen. Mm-hmm. Coming out of that meeting, who do you guys feel confident about?
Yeah, good. There's some guys that, you look at some young guys that popped and said, like Vince Davis had a heck of a scrimmage. The guy played hard. Vince Davis was a guy that, you're going to really look at for 4 games. And we've talked, in our staff meeting prior to the scrimmage about who has a chance and, what do we want to get done. But he put me on the spot with that question. So he was the one guy that really stood out. Who are the other freshmen that really, Matthew Gonsalves has done a nice job. Again, he's an offensive lineman. Is he going to play this year? No, but he's done a nice job of picking stuff up and kicking and pass protecting, really well.
They mentioned Kai Wright last week too.
Kai Wright had a couple catches. He's done a nice job. Gavin Thompson from Central Catholic Walk-On had made some nice plays. The guy's a football player. Going over to the defense. Kalijah Cansey's done a good job, and I probably should have mentioned him earlier, is Leslie Smith has done a nice job at the linebacker spot. We had him in camp, and you see what we saw in camp, you see out there. He's very smart. He's picked up the defense, and I could see him playing 4 games, maybe 5, maybe 6, 7, who knows? I mean, the guy's a football player. Probably just as a rookie, he's got to finish place, I would say his big thing is he's going to finish him or not, but he knows what to do for a young guy.
With the 4 games, you really, I mean, other than offensive linemen, right, everybody's on the table, I would think.
Oh, yeah, there's everybody, everybody. But even offensive linemen are, they can be a guard on a field goal team. They can be a wing. I mean, you can put a guy in a different jersey number and have him be a wing to get you if someone else is banged up. So, and then Brandon Hill's obviously got a chance too.
Sure, we'll give you one more.
Is Kirk the leader in the holder derby?
Is who? Kirk
Kirk.
the leader? I would say Kirk's probably the leader. So, but we got other ones there too. So we're just gonna, I don't want to annoy anybody. I want to make sure it's it's thought out. It's a long season. It's an important spot. And my thought is I want to make sure Kirk's got his job to do. I don't want him worried about 2 things. That's my fear there, because Kirk can do it. We know he can do it. He's got great skills, and I just want to make sure we don't have too much pressure on one guy.